Overnight, 10 former diplomats and security officials filing an affidavit in federal appeals court against reinstating the president's immigration order. The brief, filed mostly by Democrats, claims this order cannot be justified on national security or foreign policy grounds. It does not perform its declared task of protecting the nation from foreign terrorist entry into the United States. So do the president's policies make us safer, as he says, or not, as they say? Let's have a debate with the Woodhouse brothers. Dallas Woodhouse is the executive director of the North Carolina Republican Party, and his brother Brad is the president of Americans United for Change. They are on polar opposites of the political spectrum, and that's why we invite them on. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Just out of curiosity, did one brother take Atlanta and the other brother took the Patriots?
I didn't care, Steve. I wanted a good game, and halfway through the fourth quarter, it looked like a terrible game, and look what you have. You made history.
Dallas?
The Falcons had more electoral votes, so I went with that.
You're right about that. All right, let's talk a little bit about this filing. These diplomats are saying, you know, the Trump plan, Dallas, does not keep us safe. What do you say to them?
Well, I think this is why you would elect a president. And the Justice Department did a pretty good job in their response to the judge in Washington State saying, look, you don't have the right to second-guess a president who has been installed with this power by the Constitution, by the Congress, to make foreign policy decisions. And I think any time a court gets in the way of a president, and President Clinton made decisions like this, President Reagan, President Obama, suspending certain alien classes' rights to immigrate. No foreign national has an inherent right to come into the country, and I think it is very dangerous when a court steps in a way with a temporary order to stop the president from doing his constitutional duties. People can disagree with him, but he at least ought to have the ability to do it in the short term until the courts make some other determination. Well,
it sounds like the court could actually reverse themselves again because the Department of Justice has till, I think, 9 o'clock Eastern time to file a report. Brad, your brother is right. The President of the United States...
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's not right.
Non-citizens have no rights under our Constitution to get into the country.
Well, look, the issue here is not whether or not they have rights. It's whether or not the president is following the law. And look, you know, our judiciary, which should be independent, I don't think my brother or you, Steve, or any good American with good sense would think that the president should be attacking judges personally like he did all weekend. They'll make this decision, but the president cannot usurp the laws that have been passed by Congress. So, you know, the judiciary is going to look at this. There is a law that was passed 50 years ago said you cannot discriminate on immigrants based on their nation of origin. That's exactly what this ban does. It also discriminates them based on their religion.
Well, you know,
so
we'll see you know that is not true. You were talking about the judge and Trump. He did tweet this out yesterday, I believe. Just cannot believe a judge would put our country in such peril. If something happens, blame him and court system. People pouring in bad, he writes. Dallas. Hold on, Dallas first. Dallas first.
I just think it's important to note, Steve, that the reason you have a commander-in-chief is the president is charged with having information that the judges are not, and that's why you have to have one ultimate decider on something like this. That's why I believe this is a dangerous precedent, and I believe the courts will reverse this because they are taking a lot of responsibility if they were wrong. Let's remember what the harm is.
Brad,
let's remember what the harm is here. If you simply have the temporary ban, there are people inconvenienced. If the president is right and bad people are coming in to do bad things, then the harm is much more serious to the American people.
All right, Bradley?
Dallas, the harm here is that we have denied entry to people who are helping us fight the war on terror. We denied entry to an Iraqi general who's been helping us fight ISIS in Iraq, who was coming here to see his family, who have been moved here for their own safety. There's not one report that we have stopped a potential terrorist or a terrorist. But we handcuffed a 5-year-old. We stopped an Iraqi general. We prevented a family from coming here and seeing their dying mother. This policy is a joke. It has not made America safe. It has made America less safe. When you tell people of a religion, we don't want your help in the war on terror, We're suspicious of you. You're not welcome.
You know it's
You're
not
harming
Brad,
America.
You know it's not a Muslim ban. All right.
Of course it's a Muslim ban.
I disagree with my brother, but I would just
of course,
say that this is
he's
the
your
case.
brother. You're going to disagree with him for your whole life.
This is the case where executive power has to rule.
All right. Dallas and Brad, thank you very much. That's why we invite you on. It's always spirited, and I'm always between them.